Guys, welcome to Mobile Maths with Gamchrai. Today we are looking at subject of Formula 5, where we are continuing with some square root problems. So here I've got a square root problem. What we do when we have a square root problem is this. For starters, I would want to remove this 2. So I'll multiply both sides by 2 by 2. Okay. So on the right side, these 2 will cancel off each other and I'll remain with 2b is equal to square root of a squared minus x squared. Okay, why have I done this? It's like this problem is the same as square root of a squared minus x squared all over 2. That's the half there. That's how you can rewrite it. That's why I've multiplied everything by 2. Okay, going back to our problem now, we have removed the fraction. We can now remove the square root sign. So 2 is equal to, I'm now removing the square root sign, a squared minus x squared to the power of half. To remove our half, we multiply by 2 over 1. We multiply everything by 2 over 1, like that. So on the right side, they are going to cancel off each other, the 2's and the 1's. On this side, we can simply say we have got a 2 here. Okay, so this becomes 2b squared is equal to a squared minus x squared, like that. And 2b squared is the same as 2 squared times b squared is equal to a squared minus x squared. Okay, let's finish it. So 2 squared is equals to 4, so we get 4b squared. I'm now going to take this a to this side. It becomes minus a squared is equals to minus x squared. Okay, I didn't want a minus there, so I think I'm going to rearrange. Let me just take the other way. I don't want to confuse you by dividing. So let me take this minus here, this side, and then I'll take 4b this side. So I'll have x squared is equal to a squared minus 4b squared, like that. I hope I have not confused you. Okay, maybe if I have, let's go back a little bit back. Okay, so here I've got a squared minus, I've got a squared minus x squared. Okay, so I said when we reach this point, I want to make my x the positive, so I'll take it this side, and this part here is 4b squared. Okay, I'll take it this side, it becomes minus. So let's do that. We get x squared is equals to a squared minus 4b squared, like that. Then to get our x, we have here 2 over 1. We multiply by 1 over 2. So we are going to multiply even this side by 1 over 2. So this side, they will cancel off each other and we get our x is equals to. So when we have a number to the power of half, we said it is the same as the square root. So we say it's the square root of a squared minus 4b squared, like that. So this becomes our final answer there. Let's move on to another question. Okay, so we have got a square root. We remove the square root first. So this becomes x squared plus a squared is equal to the power of half is equals to b. To remove our half, we multiply everything by 2 over 1 by 2 over 1. Okay, so these will cancel off each other. We get x squared plus a squared is equals to b squared, like that. To get our x squared, we remain with x squared is equals to, we are taking this one, this side, it becomes minus, so it's b squared minus a squared. Then to get our x, this is the same as 2 over 1. We multiply by 1 over 2. We multiply everything here by 1 over 2. So our x is equal to, these will cancel off each other, square root of b squared minus a squared. So that's the final answer there. Let's move on to the other one. Okay, this one, we have got a cube root. We've got these 3 on our square root sign. The other ones that we're doing all along were like this. When it is like this, it is to the power of 2 here. We've got a square root. There's a 2. Square means 2. Then this 3 means cube. So what we do is this. When we were dealing with this one, we were saying our number x to the power of half. When now it is a cube root like this, cube root of x, we simply say x to the power of 1 over 3. That's what we are going to do. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to rub off this part. Okay, let's do that. So this becomes x over a to the power of 1 over 3 is equals to a b. To remove that 1 over 3, we multiply by 3 over 1, by 3 over 1. 3 and 3 will cancel off each other, 1 and 1 will cancel off each other. So we get x over a is equals to b cubed. Remember, we said 3 over 1 is the same as 3. Okay. Now we have reached a point where we can now multiply both sides by an a to remove this a. By a, these will cancel off each other, so our x becomes ab cubed. That's the final answer, guys. Let's have another example. This one, we've got a square root because we don't have any number here, so it is square. Okay, when we don't have a number, it is square, so it's x squared plus a squared to the power of 1/2 is equals to 3a. To remove our half, we multiply by half, by 2 over 1. Everything this side by 2 over 1, like that. So these will cancel off each other, 2, 2, 1, 1 there. And this will be as 2, like that. So we can rewrite and have x squared plus a squared is now equal to 3a, everything squared. Okay, like that. So I'm going to remove the square part here. Removing the square part here, I'll get, so this is x squared. I can even take this one, this side becomes minus, so we have is equals to 3 to the power of 2, we get 9a squared minus a squared. Okay, I've solved this part here as 3 to the power of 3 times a to the power of 3. Oh, to the power of 2, sorry, to the power of 2. This power 2 there. Sorry for that. 2, 2. So it's 3 times 3, we get a 9. That's the 9 there. Then a times a, we get an a. So we now have x squared is equal to, x squared is now equal to 9a squared minus a squared. So this a squared here is the same as 1. And they all have a squared, so we can subtract them. So we get x squared is equal to 8a squared. Okay, now to get our x, this x here is the same as x to the power of 2 over 1. So we multiply by 1 over 2. I'll go to multiply here by 1 over 2 as well. So these will cancel off each other. These are powers, guys. So we have our x is equals to 8a squared to the power of half, like that. And our half there, we said, is the same as square root. Okay, it's the same as square root. And if I want this 2 and this 2 for this one will cancel off each other. How? Let me show you. We are saying this is x is equals to 8 to the power of half times a to the power of 2 over 1 times half, like that. So we can have our a there, these 2 and these 2 cancelling off each other. So we will get our x as x is equals to a square root of 8. This is the final answer. I hope I have not confused you. Let's look at the last question. I hope this is the last question. First of all, we remove these denominators. Okay, so I'll multiply everything by a squared by b squared. Okay, let's do that. A squared, b squared, a squared, b squared, a squared, b squared. Okay, let's cancel off each other. A squared will cancel off with a squared, so we get b squared times x squared plus B squared will cancel off with B squared, so we get A squared Y squared is equal to, this thing will get only A squared B squared, like that. Fine. Now we want to remain with X on one side, so I'm going to take this part to this side, it becomes minus. So we get B squared X squared is equal to A squared B squared minus A squared Y squared, like that. Okay, let's simplify. Now to get my X squared, I'm going to divide by B squared, everything by B squared. Okay, so I can even divide one item by one item here. Say here by B squared, here by B squared, like that. Let's do it that way. So this side will cancel off each other. This one will cancel off with this one. And here, there is no common factor, so it will remain like that. So we will have our answer as X squared is equals to A squared minus A squared Y squared over B squared, like that. Our X is to the power of 2, which is the same as 2 over 1. To get our X, we multiply by 1 over 2, and this whole thing by 1 over 2. So on this side, the 2's will cancel off each other, the 1's will cancel off each other. Our X becomes is equals to, when it's to the power of half, we said it's the same as square root. So we have square root of A squared minus A squared Y squared over B squared, like this. This is the final answer, guys. I think this is the last question. Yes, that's the last question. Thank you, guys. Remember to subscribe on our YouTube channel and share with your colleagues. Otherwise, bye bye for now.